Hello, my friends. This reading is meant for a stingray person who is struggling to make a choice between two things. Now, the stingray, as I recall, is kind of indecisive, maybe? Wishy-washy? Let's find out. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Developing confidence, sense of self, or spine. The stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. So that's what your choice is about. All right. Pressure from family and friends makes this decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again as the force of Dharma growing within the stingray is too strong to ignore. So Dharma is your purpose, your path, what you're supposed to be doing with your life, and it is trying to come out. And it is putting a lot of pressure on you. Okay, when in balance, eager, wants to grow. When out of balance, blames others, feels guilty, or quits. I'm sorry, I thought it said guilt. No. When out of balance, blames others or quits, or both. To bring into balance, move through the discomfort. So, it seems that you are being called to do something, and it is creating some sort of a decision point in your life. The old, the easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, the challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. So, once again, you have to choose between complacency and growth. All right, it's an uncomfortable position to be in, and many of us decide, at least initially, that we don't want to rock the boat that much. And following your Dharma is most likely going to rock the boat quite a bit. That is the nature of the beast, I think. All right, so we will choose some significators for your, or rather some cards between following your Dharma and not staying put. The issue won't go away if you decide to stay put, but maybe for a little while you'll be able to stay stuck in complacency. Sorry, I shouldn't say stuck. That sounds judgmental, doesn't it? I'm biased towards growth, I admit it. All right, so let's see. Staying with the old, we have Temperance in reverse. So a lack of balance. Stagnation. What else? Staying in the old situation. Four of Pentacles. That one needs a little clarification. All right, three separate cards have come out here now. Knight of Wands, Seven of Wands, and the Fool. All right, well, this is no surprise. Perhaps you've been the Knight of Wands, someone who's really just gone your own way, had a good time, not really thought too much about consequences or ramifications or collateral damage. And then we have Seven of Wands, definitely feeling like you have to defend yourself But I'm not clear what you're defending yourself against. Or what are you fighting for? We have the Fool here. Taking the Fool's leap is a big step, and many people find it very scary because you don't know what's next. You're leaping into the unknown, essentially. And it requires faith. So, it seems you may be fighting for making that leap. I'm going to put this one up here. So I find this one interesting. I was hoping these would clarify that one. I'm not sure if they did or not. Okay, so Four of Pentacles. This would be, Four of Pentacles in the upright is about staying, well, holding back. So maybe you're holding back from the leap. Holding back. It can be holding back in the sense of being miserly, so holding back on your finances. Maybe trying to save some money. Maybe trying to be controlling. So are you being possessive? Are you being controlling? Overly concerned with materials. It's kind of the Scrooge McDuck mentality. But that is not, if you are this Knight of Wands, then that is not natural to you at all. Oh, I should push these up a little bit. Okay. So yes, if you are this Knight of Wands, this is not a natural state of being for you. So that would definitely set up a great deal of inner conflict. It really looks like this is supposed to be if you stay where you are, or not stay, but if you choose to stay with the old. And that's where you got the out of balance, you got the stagnation, the holding back. And then temperance is also about balancing your spiritual and material life. So as I said, it's out of balance. It cannot, there's also an implication of overindulgence, of course. All right, what I forgot to mention is that this is in reverse. So there's the possibility that you are finally letting go of that effort to control, to be possessive. That's the word I was looking for. So you're letting go of this stagnation, this effort to control everything. Perhaps this Knight of Wands can be very impulsive. Perhaps you are impulsively deciding to fight for change. Fight for this leap of faith that you want to make. Again, the Knight of Wands is not overly concerned with consequences, which is kind of what you need. The Knight of Wands is brave. They will jump in or take the Fool's leap. So this was supposed to be the path of you staying put in whatever your situation is. And it looks like all you can think about is moving on into your Dharma. All right, let's see what following your path looks like. Although this is a collective reading, so I'm not going to be able to talk about anything too specific. But let's see. The other path is not going through that stagnation, just going for it, I guess. whatever your Dharma is, you apparently already know what it is, so since you know that you have to make this choice, what happens if you do choose to follow it without struggling first? Interesting. Pay attention to your dreams. Perhaps that's where the specifics are, since, you know, it's a collective reading. Okay, that's pretty much what I'd expect. Page of Cups. More of a dreamer than a doer, but maybe you need that for a while. On a positive note, it looks like this Page of Cups is willing and able to change their mindset, to see the mental prison that they're in, change the attitudes. So that would be a crossing influence. That's a new chapter. So the end of one chapter, the beginning of a new one. It is a card of success. I find it interesting. So we have the moon here in reverse. So this can be shadow work. It's in reverse, so things coming to the surface, things that you haven't been willing to acknowledge, or things that you didn't know, mysteries. But it's also under dream space. So I would definitely be paying attention to my dreams if I were you. Then we have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups can be friends, it can be communication, it can be, you know, relaxing, kicking back, having a good time. It can also be overindulging to a toxic level. Oh, this is interesting. You have the moon on one side and the High Priestess on the other. Also, the High Priestess showed itself before. It really wanted to come out, and it did. Okay. Perhaps this is what you are becoming. So the High Priestess is someone who knows the mysteries, who is connected to the divine. And, is... Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. She is wise. She's very intuitive. She has a strong connection to the moon. And she does keep her secrets. Their secrets, I should say, because, again, there's no gender in tarot. Anybody can embody this intuition, this knowledge, this connection to the divine, mystery. So the High Priestess is someone you go to ask for guidance from the divine, to connect with the divine. Someone who has the there's a lot of mystery here. We have the mystery of the moon, and we have the High Priestess. They're both closely connected. So things just coming to the surface, mysteries, maybe abilities you didn't know you had. And there's Three of Cups in the middle, in reverse. It may be that you're learning things about people that you thought were your friends. And the mysteries are probably not pleasant, or the insights. So yeah, it looks like that's all breaking down. Whatever you thought was the case with your friends, or other people that you've loved very much, or cared about very much. It looks like it's all falling apart. Well, don't forget the world here. This is an indication of the end of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. I'm not saying it'll be easy or comfortable. I mean, you've got the Eight of Swords here. The Eight of Swords is a new way of thinking about things, of seeing life, understanding life. It is breaking free from social conditioning, family conditioning, programming, if you care to call it that. And you are very much a page. You're just beginning. Because I'm assuming, honestly, I don't think you're going to be able to avoid this path. Not with the reading we got with the first path. The path of staying in the same place ended up with you taking the Fool's Leap. So I think it's just a matter of time before you go down this road. And it's going to really shake up your family and friend group, your community. You're going to see them all in a different light. You're going to see yourself in a different light. And that's not always easy or comfortable. Sometimes it's shadow work, especially with the moon here. But you have the Three of Cups in reverse. So I just see a lot of change happening in your social network. So, well, the world can be a reference to a network too, especially the internet. But if you are truly becoming the High Priestess, then you are stepping into your power, stepping into your own connection with the divine. Anything else? Ten of Cups. Well. All right. Ten of Cups is the ideal family situation. It is a loving relationship, a settled, secure family life, full of happiness and joy, music and butterflies. And oddly enough, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse and Strength in reverse. So perhaps this is what you've been hoping for rather than achieving it. So the Ace of Pentacles would be, planting the seed for this ideal family situation. But you have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, which is the opposite of abundance. You're really too focused on the material right now. You're not going to get this if you're overly focused on the material. And strength in reverse, rather. So strength is a card of confidence, of compassion for oneself, of discovering the strength of tenderness and courage. The courage to be open and vulnerable and all those things that society frowns on. But it looks like you've lost faith in yourself. If you think all there is the material world, that's not the case. If you think this is impossible for you, it probably will not come in the form that you're expecting. So, one of the unusual things about this particular Ten of Cups is that there is only one adult. It is a family of one adult and one child. So perhaps your family life will not look like the idealized nuclear family, which you might want to remember was created in the 50s for reasons that didn't really have anything to do with health and happiness. Let's put it that way. It was not intended to create a positive situation. So, whatever your ideal family life looks like, happiness is still possible for you. You have to recover your belief in yourself and your own strength, your own courage, and the way to become brave and strong is to feel the fear and do it anyway. I'm not sure who said that, but that is how you become or show or embody courage. All right. I am wishing you all the best. It looks like a very challenging time for you. But I do think, happiness is possible for you. It's just going to be very different from how you expected it to be. I'm wishing you all the best. Good luck.